Happy Friday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 455. It is Friday, January 9th, 2025. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have a really pretty card for you tonight. It's a little time-consuming, but you know what? The result is like so worth it. And you're going to want to win this card. So I'm just letting you know now. So how you can win this card that I make tonight, you can do a thumbs up or a heart. That gets your name entered into the drawing. Leave a comment. And if you're new to my channel, let me know where you're from. And then also you could go to my my YouTube page, and you can also do a subscribe button. And I think I'm at like 73, and it'd be kind of cool to get to 100. I don't know why, but it's a nice round number. And then let's see. And if you share this on your timeline, that gets you 2 entries. So you have 4 different ways to win this card tonight. It's going to take a little while for me to pick the winners. I kind of allow the sharing to hit other timelines so that they get a chance to get entered into the drawing, because I want to, share cards with people as much as I can. So, I'm going to put you down on the table in a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with camera. So hold on. So hopefully, well, today, like I said, is Friday. So my normal night is Thursday, and my tummy was just not happy with me yesterday. So I decided to not do my Facebook Live and then do it tonight. So hopefully, there we go. And I'm going to squish that in a little bit, straighten it out. Bugs me when we're a little crooked. All right. I think we're good. You can see my hands. Turn the light on the subject. All right. So again, my name is Joy Borwedge. My Instagram page is Stampin' for Joy. And my YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. penguinz33@outlook.com is my email address. So if you have any questions on anything that you see, or if you would like to request a catalog, you can send me an email. My Facebook Live, or my Facebook page, is also Stampin' for Joy. So I have 2 Facebook pages. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you. So what I do is I record on my Joy Borwedge page, and then I take tonight's project and put it on my Instagram page. And then I download today's video on YouTube, and then I also put it on my Facebook page, Stampin' for Joy. So it's 3 different places that you can find this video. Now, 2 places will get deleted after 30 days. So just to let you know. So if you happen to see a card on Instagram, how you doing, Judy? So if you see a card on Instagram and you want to know how it was made, if it's within the 30 days, you can go to either Facebook page. But if it's past 30 days, you can go to the YouTube page, Joy A. Borwedge, and watch it there. So we have a few things to talk about. First of all, the stampinevent.com happens to it's open for registration. The in-person date is Saturday, February 28th, 2026. And what happens then is you guys get to make 16 handmade cards. Excuse me, I now got a tickle. How come every time I go to Facebook Live, I'm going to sneeze, I have a tickle, or my voice goes wonky? Excuse me. So anyways, And after that, generally, we have a virtual event. So I don't have that date yet, so Heidi and I haven't planned it that far. So I'm really excited. I had to take my sweatshirt off because it's getting a little warm. So go to thestampinevent.com, register. It is an in-person event. It's in Highland Park, St. Paul, and it is a lot of fun. Plus, we have retired product. There are 4 demonstrators at this event, and we will have lots of retired product marked at a discount. So it's also great shopping. Okay, so that's one. A couple other things. Now, this is the annual catalog, and I just want to point out that as we are in January, this catalog retires. I should say it ends at the end of April. So I just want to point out that before everybody freaks out, the in colors, I'm going to squish in just a little bit. The in colors that are the 2024 to 2026 are retiring. And what that means is it's going to go on the last chance list, and then once that product is on that list, they're not going to restock. So that is going to be Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop. Now these colors have, let's see, Pretty in Pink has been here before, and these colors are just so wonderful. And I just want to show you that before things start to run out, I just kind of want to give you a heads up that if you like these colors, get the ink pad, get the re-inker. If you already have the ink pad, get 2 re-inkers and then several packs of cardstock. And then that way you won't be left out in the cold. So, we're going to be using the Color Coach tonight. Woohoo! So this is our annual catalog. Again, it ends at the end of April. Now, the current spring mini catalog, hi Laura. Now, the spring mini catalog ends at the end of April. It just started with to customers on the 6th. So just this week, you guys get a chance to purchase the products. Now, I am going to be featuring Sunshine and Tulips, and I think this is going to be a sleeper. And in my mind, let's see, it is a bundle, so that means it's a stamp set and dies, and it's $45.75. So when you buy a bundle, you save 10%. So I think that this is probably going to get left, kind of like not looked at. And this is one of the things that I decided to get because this die is like so cool. All right, and this thing here, Woolly Friends, too flippin' cute. So I just wanted to kind of show you where we're at. It's on page 50 in the spring mini catalog, and I was inspired by this card. But what I did is I took it up a level. Now, if you want to know what up a level means, you're going to have to find out in just a few minutes. All right, the online exclusives also went live. And I have to say that I think the Lovely Blossoms, some of it's sold out already. So, and it's coming back, I hope. This will be one of my products that will be featuring at the in-person event in February. So do yourself a favor and register. Right, Laura? All right. And then product of the month. Product of the month. I forgot to print out what it looks like, but it's an actual stamp set. And what that means is for 75, if you have an order, subtotal $75, you can purchase this really cool stamp set for only $5. And that's the only time you can purchase it is in February. Now, if it sells out, it sells out it's sold out and it's gone. They're not, I better unsquish. Just a little bit. Let go. Come on. Stop being so close. There we go. Let's, a little bit more. There we go. You just got yours today? Cool. Excuse me. The date is February 28th, and it's a Saturday. It's the last Saturday of February. So, cool. The product of the month, I haven't gotten it yet. When you place an order, you have to have an online account and you have to put items in your cart. Now, if you take Stampin' rewards or coupons or discounts and your order falls below 75, that means you need to add more to your cart so that the subtotal is 75. Then a thing will pop up and says, hey, do you want to purchase the product of the month? Now, you can only purchase one product of the month. You can't say, well, I want one, now, and then I'm going to come back later and get the same thing. No, you will not be able to. However, if January doesn't sell out and then February comes up, you have to put two $75 in if you wish to get January's, if it hasn't sold out, and February's. So it's just kind of fun to be able to get different products every month, that this is the only time you're going to get it, and you're not going to see it anywhere else. So it's going to be exclusive. All right, then while we're at it, bonus days. This is so cool that Stampin' Up! Is doing this at the same time. You get to earn rewards on your orders. You get to purchase a stamp set, and it's a word stamp set for only $5 this month. And then also you get to earn bonus days. So for every $50, so every subtotal of 50. So again, after rewards so rewards are taken out, discounts are taken out, that subtotal needs to be 50. So Stampin' Up! Is going to send you an email that includes a code for a $5 off coupon. You can get as many codes as you want. Save them up. So save those emails. Now, sometimes they might get stuck in your junk mail. And what's the other thing? Spam. Retrieve those, save them, and then you get to redeem those $5 off coupons in February from the 3rd through the 28th. Now, you get to earn those coupons between January and February 2nd. So start placing those orders and then getting those $5 off coupons to spend next month. I mean, like, how fun is that? All right, Paper Pumpkin is coming up, and January 10th is the last day to subscribe, and, well, that's cool. So January 10th, it's going to have, and I'm just going to give you like a preview. Look at the kind of the postage style die cuts there. And so that's all I can give you as a taste of what it's going to be. So this is going to come to you in February, but you need to be subscribed by January 10th. So that is tomorrow. All right. And then January 22nd and 23rd, Stampin' Up! Is holding their first virtual card retreat. So it's a 2-day thing. Now, if you're like, Joy, I can't make those days or even one of those days, guess what? You're going to be in an exclusive Facebook group where you will be able to replay as many times as you want. And you could start, you can get this ordered now. Now, you're going to be making 15 fabulous cards. These are more of an avid card rather than say Paper Pumpkin could be technically at a beginner or kind of a casual stamper, whereas this is made for somebody who has been in the crafting. They own everything, not necessarily everything, but you know, it's what we do. And there's like fun folds and techniques, but don't let me scare you that if you are kind of new to scrapbooking or paper crafting, that if you don't feel like you can do this at the same pace as they are, you can just watch it and then go back in and play with it. Pause. Like I said, once you purchase this kit, you're going to be automatically registered. So it's 170023. And that's going to be purchasing the 2026 Virtual Card Making Retreat Kit. And you will have access to this exclusive Facebook group where the event will be held. It's $165, and you, like I said, can already start ordering this kit. So I'm going to show you kind of the things that you're going to be making, so then you can see how much fun you will get. Now, if you're like Joy, $165 is a lot of money. Number one, you get $16.50 earned in rewards. You also get 2 stamp sets and a die set. Now, one of the stamp sets is virtual event only. The other is going to be something that is going to be in another release. And I don't know if it's going to be in a publication, if it's going to be an online exclusive, but you're going to get that sneak peek. So you'll get it early. Then I just want to point out that this here is the holiday mini catalog. A lot of this product went to the last chance list. So go in and check it out while supplies last. This is not something once it hits it, if it's getting low, they're going to add to it. Once it's gone and you can't purchase it. And a lot of the product has discounts on it. So get it at a good deal. All right, so now that I showed you the card that we're going to be somewhat making, I'm going to show you the Sunshine and Tulips. So this is what we're going to be playing with today. Now, we're also going to be using the textured note dies. It's an online exclusive. It was part of a bundle, but this part is still available. It's in the online store. And this here is what you're going to get. Now, these are some of the colors. Well, actually, all the colors. We have Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, Petunia Pop, Peach Pie, and Petal Pink. These are the colors that are going to be added to the last chance list coming up soon. So before supplies run out, these are the colors that I told you you need to get. Because everybody's kind of towards the end, it's like, oh, the re-inker sold out really quick. All right, so we're going to be using Sunshine and Tulips bundle. It's on page 50. Now, just let me do a quick show of how I am doing my new products. So what I've done is I've taken the flimsy plastic off, and when all the stamps are laid out, then I took my smoky slate, inked it up, and then pushed it down on the back page. This is the front. I did it to the back. And then that way I know if I'm missing something. So it may not look the prettiest, but you know what? It works for me. And I didn't attach because I will actually have this sitting like this. So if I attached this to here, I would literally have to have it hanging out on my table. And that to me is way too much space being taken up by something that I'm not using at that time, because my stamps are on blocks, as you can tell. Then the Sunshine and Tulip dies. Now, what I have done is I have taken the flap and I have put that in. Then this here, I just leave this in facing forward so that you can see what everything is. Now, I haven't done this yet, but what I've done is this is the piece that all the dies were attached on. So I actually took this magnet sheets and then I glued it on and I put the name. So if I have it facing up, I know what page it needs to go to. And hi, Stacy, welcome. And so what I've done is I want to show you. So the tulips do this, okay? And they pop out. So you can have an outline image in one color and then the petals a different color. So you get 3 of those. Then you get 2 of these, and those are just regular leaves. Now you can take the leaves and you can stamp on them if you want. You can do that. And I think you might be able to stamp. I didn't try that on this. Probably stamp on here too. I didn't try that either. And then this is actually the first time, the card that I'm going to be making is the first time I've actually touched the stamp set or bundle. And so you're going to be like, Joy, you couldn't find anything easier to do your first time out? I'm like, nope. And then this one here, you get 3 of these, and what it does is it cuts out the center, so you can have a darker outline and a lighter center, whatever you want to do. So I just kind of want to show you. And then also these tulips, they pop out, so I'm going to show you that as well. And then you have a very nice label. So you can take and put it this way and stamp this greeting, as well as the other greeting that I am using in tonight's card. All right, so then the other thing I want to show you is, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I'm just going to do one of them. Okay. Some people have said, you know, I like to take my pencil and write it, you know, around here so I know if I'm missing something. And then somebody said, well, what happens if you have dies? Well, I bought this. This is at Walmart, and it's called Paper Mate Ink Joy Gel. And it says bright, pops on light and dark paper. And I'm like, I wonder if that will work on magnet sheets. And guess what? It does. So what I did is you take the little thingy off, and then, let's see, a piece of scratch paper, get the ink flowing, and then I just hold it in place and then just trace around the die, because sometimes the dies, there's like so many dies that you don't know, if you use a lot of them, you don't know where to stick them back, on how to fit them in. And so I will actually do every one here, or everything here. And this is the first time I've used this color, so it'll eventually start to flow really well. And then just kind of, and then you can see after it dries where it goes back to once you are done playing around. So again, I got this at Walmart, and it's called Ink Joy Gel. And it comes in these fabulous colors. All of them do work. And so let me show you. Like Cute as a Bug. There's a lot of them on there. And so if you were playing with Cute as a Bug and you're cutting out a whole bunch of things, where in the world are you going to get all of them to fit? And what I did is I actually laid them on here the way I wanted, and then I could see them. Because for me, I don't like everything flip-flopped, turned upside down. I want to see them. Sometimes when they're facing me, I get more inspired rather than some of them like this, some of them like that, some of them like that. So then that way, I get them to fit, and then I can put them back in the same spot. So that is my new product tip. Okay, so then let's play with this card set. Let me show you what we're going to be playing with. I'm going to do a quick, I'm just going to do a drive-by of today's card, and that way I showed you what was my inspiration. So let's see here. First of all, I said I am going to play with the Tulip set. And then I'm like, okay, what colors am I going to use? And then I said, Color Coach. So I chose Lemon Lime Twist as my green. Okay, so then it actually picked Misty Moonlight cardstock. That's what I did. And then these colors are my tulips. So I have Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, and Petal Pink. So these three colors are going to be my tulips, and they're scraps. And this is like the perfect die set to use scraps on. And then Lemon Lime Twist, because those are my leaves. And then I have a piece of basic white, which is 3 3/4 by 1. That's going to be our greeting. Well, I guess I should leave that on there. Then we have Misty Moonlight, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. Again, another piece of Misty Moonlight, which is actually the piece, piece that just chopped off of here, because this was a scrap piece, and this was 1/2 inch by 5, and this is actually thick basic white cardstock, which is 12 by 12. So I chopped that down to 4 1/4 by 11. So it's going to be a top opening card. And then I scored it at 5 1/2. Okay, so that is what we're using in tonight's card. I'm going to take a sip. It's one thing about doing Facebook Lives on Friday is I'm having a ruby red grapefruit monster. Whereas on Thursday nights, I have to drink water. I like water, but I drink water at work, and so I like something different. Alrighty then. So we're going to do some die cutting, and good evening, Stacy. Welcome. Okay, let's get well, first of all, let's do our greeting for the front of our card. And we're going to stamp that in, because we're going to die cut, and I want to have my greeting ready to go. So we're going to grab Memento, And we're going to do a thinking of you card, because that way, when somebody wins this card, they can probably use it. You know what I mean? Whereas it's a common thing to send to somebody. All right. And I like the font in this set. Thinking of you. Now, I don't like that U because it's a little dark. So let's try that. We're just tap, tap, tap. No squishing, because you don't need to squish because we're not killing a spider. There we go. Much more perfect. Okay. Now we could set that aside, and we can use that to, we're going to stamp other stuff, but just right now, I want to die cut around that. So I want to get that stamped. Okay. I'm going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and all right, that's going to go over there. Sorry, guys. My sinuses just decided to act up right before the Facebook Live. Okay, so we're going to use, first of all, we're going to do the big one, okay? So now this is going to go just like that. Now it cuts out. So it cuts right here, and then it, excuse me, and it gives you those dots. So this is 4 inches wide by 5 1/4, and it's going to cut around that. So even if you use a full quarter sheet, you're going to get a nice cut all the way around. And you want to put that at an angle when you put this in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, because you want to put less pressure on the rollers as you're going through. Now, I'm just going to go back. You don't need to, just because sometimes I like to go all the way through. Sometimes I go back. I'm right-handed, so I like to pull off my dies right-handed. Now, you get all these pretty tulips. So you, if you want, can save these and use them, number one, as confetti when you send the card to your person. You can also use them to fill in the, so that's one die. And so you can go back in if you wanted to and stamp them, ink them up, whatever you want. So Misty Blue Tulips. All right, so that one's done. And then we're going to do some greens. So then we're going to take one of those and one of those. And then we're going to do a tulip. No, we're not. We don't die cut those. Never mind. So then we're going to die cut some leaves. And just to warn you, I've already done most of the die cutting for this and the other cutting, but to assemble, I didn't do anything because I just kind of want to show you my process. All right, so we're going to save both the inside and the outside. Oh, come hither. All right. So we're just going to save these, and those are empty, so we could put that back. That one still has something in there, so we're going to get the people poker out. It's my favorite take your pick tool. I call the pointy end my people poker. because I am the people it pokes. I have not yet drawn blood, and we're going to keep it that way. All right, so push that back in. So when you lift it up, it doesn't fall all over the place. All right, you, full on leaf, open, innards. Okay, so as you can tell, I have my pieces ready to go. And the craft mat, the silicone craft mat, this is your friend today. And doing this card, oh, darn it, I forgot to do this one. Oh, well. Here we go. I could have pulled out the little guy, but we just got done doing this one, so might as well. All right, so we're going to take this and put that at an angle. And, oops, wrong side. There we go. That's the better side. So we're going to take this and we're going to move that. I have done this before where I've shown people how to make a longer image shorter. Okay, so this is some Scotch tape and it's paper tape. So I don't know what Post-it tape is like, but I saw this and it was at Walmart. And I don't buy a lot of things off of Amazon, so I don't know. I've never tried this, but it is kind of sticky. So I just kind of put my fingers on it and we'll see if it rips it off or not. All right, so we're going to go through, because I do like using my Post-it notes, but I also use my Post-it notes for other things. So if I could find something sticky that doesn't, well, it kind of ripped off the paper. So I guess that's not going to really work. Trial and error. So it reminds me of the Stampin' Up! Post-it, or sorry, what's that called? I have it. I use it. Okay, so we'll try another piece. And we'll make it so that it's not so... because it says it's, you know, it's paper tape. So, all right. I just thought it. All right, so I'm just going to go do that a couple times. Owie. I'm a hairy creature. There we go. Lift that up. See if that works. Okay, so then turn it the right way. And then you should be able to just take this die and line it up with the previous holes that were made. Actually, we'll just do this. I find it's a lot easier to do it when I'm holding it. So it's kind of locked in. And so we're just going to take that and put that there. And then we'll put this back on. So maybe if you've never seen this, this might be something new for you. Okay. There we go. Let's see if that worked. Okay, it came off. And it did not tear. So you have to kind of unstick it for a little bit. All right, and there we go. So we shortened up our greeting by a little over half, or a little under half. So that's how much we changed it up. So that's going to be our greeting. And so we could put this back on the magnet sheet. Now I'm done with this, I promise. No more die cutting. Okay, so now here's the fun part, You're going to be like going, Joy, you are crazy. And I'm going to say, yep. When I was designing this card, like I said yesterday, I was thinking, my tummy was just not being, it wasn't a happy camper yesterday. And I'm like going, I don't think I can do a Facebook Live. Mike comes in, it was 7:30, and he goes, are you going to do a Facebook Live tonight? And I'm like, I looked at the clock and I'm like, no. Yeah, the other holes lined it up. And I've done that on different dies, and it works for me, it's better because when you hold it, you can feel it lock in, and then you tape, post-it note it or some type of adhesive and stick it down. So I am using a lot of my scraps, and like I said, I'm going to actually sit down for this. So if you have any questions, I will come back and answer them. But this is my scraps. So this is brights and subtles. And so one family is on this side, the other family is on this side. So here's brights. So the brights open up this way on the left, and the other brights open up on the right. So what I do is I'm anal. I go in alphabet order. And so the first 5 are on the left, and then the second 5 are on the right. And they fit in a drawer. So anything less than a quarter sheet goes in here. And I always check this first. And that way, I am not breaking into full sheets. So I have my Misty Moonlight and my Petal Pink and the Poppy Parade and the Flirty Flamingo. So those are the colors that we're using tonight because the coach told me it was working. All right, so let's put this card together. It's going to be kind of a pain in the booty for you guys. I'm sorry, but I'm not about to put half the card together because I want to show you a different way to do it, I guess. Then when I was watching Facebook Live Stampin' Up, Sarah Douglas was one of the presenters. They were looking through the new Spring Mini. And then there was, I can't remember her name. And she said that in that picture, they showed this picture. They showed this as an example, this one right here, and they said that was scraps of paper. And I was like going, ha, that's what I'm doing. But I might have done it differently. There might be an easier way to do this, but like I said, I'm going to be sitting down. So hopefully you're good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take, and I'm going to first of all check to see if I am in screen. So I'm going to leave this right here so I can show you. I just want to make sure I'm not going off camera. Okay. So we want to hang out here. And for me, this is going to be a lot of mini dimensionals. So first one, I'm going to put right at the edge of the flower, right in the center. And then I don't have any fingernails, so this is easier for me. But sometimes, you know, when you watch a video and you're like, wow, I want to make that card, and then they do all the shortcuts, and then you're like, oh, heck no, I'm not making that card. But this would be a card that you can, you know, take my idea, which, you know, is Stampin' Up's idea, but I kind of went a little further with it, and Well, that's sticky to me. But you could take my idea and, do it for just, one strip and cut it down, or, do it for one flower. So, I mean, there's different ways, but like I said, I wanted to create that card somewhat. But I wanted my tulips to be up. Okay, so then now we're going to put one. I'm going to flip this around so I could see. I'm just going to do one. So like one of the little points is going to go where the flower is. Okay. And this is going to hold the cardstock in place. Some maybe. There we go. And maybe this is a card that you would say, I really like this card, but no. But like I said, this is the first time I made this, I've used this card. So I kind of went a little, I should have thought of maybe a little easier for the first time, but maybe the next time. I know that somebody is going to be featuring this bundle at the event coming up. It's not me. But I'm excited about the event. This is a lot of dimensionals. I think this is the most dimensionals I have ever used on a card. There's 24 here because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers times 3, so that's 12. Times 2 per flower, that's 24. But then we're going to have some dimensionals in the corners. So luckily, these are little guys. All right. So then I'm just going to stick 1, 2, woo, flick that one across the way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stab them and grab them. All right. So the first card, I'm just going to do one row at a time. So I'm going to lay this down and put my dimensional just like that and make sure that, all my flowers have, it's covered. A little bit over there. All right, so the next one is going to be that one. That is Flirty Flamingo. And push it, move it over just a tad bit, push down, and there we go. We have a flower. And then Petal Pink. I keep on missing my edges on my tulip. So don't make your squares too small. Kind of made my squares too small. All right, so there we go. There's 3. And then so the next one, the next row, we're gonna take those little buggers off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it wants to stay attached. No. Okay, and we'll take those dimensional backings off, throw them in the trash, and then, all right, so then we're going to put that one there, just lightly on top. Woo, now I'm stuck to it. And then the Petal Pink, and just lay that down gently and move that over. Make sure it's hitting the dimensionals. All right, now we're going to do the red, or sorry, Poppy Parade. Oops. Poppy didn't make it to the bottom. Oops, not sticking to me. Oh, get back up there. Does anybody ever talk to their papers? Well, I talk to my cats, so I talk to my stamping projects all the time. Okay. Gosh darn it. There we go. Now it stays. Okay, so we got 2 rows done already. Okay. I'm so glad, Laura, I popped up and said hi. Thank you so much. I have to figure out a nice simple card for this one. But yeah, thank you very much. You're so sweet. All right, so then we're just going to stab and grab these backings. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Fling them across the way. I just like to stab them. Oops. And I put those in the tulips, not the garbage can. No, no, no. That's not where they go. All right. Is that one sticky? Yes, it is. This is a very dimensional backing. This would really irritate me if I didn't stab and grab them, if they were all over the place. All right, so then there we go. As you can tell, we're mixing the colors up. And then, oh, that one's perfect. And then we're petal pink, which is right here. All right, that one didn't make it to the bottom. Just lightly put it on there, and then you can squish them in once you're happy with where they're at. All right, and then we'll do petal, oops, got to take the backings off. Come on, let's go. All right, I'm stabbing you. Come hither. Now I just poked a hole in there. That's okay. It won't mess with the adhesiveness. We'll just have a stab in the middle. Okay, so let's get that Misty Moonlight. Alrighty then. All right, and so then we're going to put that right there. Squish. And then we're going to go with the Poppy Parade. Beauteous. And last but not least, we are going to go with the Flirty Flamingo. All right, so a lot of those are still exposed, okay? So that's why your craft sheet is like your perfect thing, because look at all your dimensionals are still stuck on. It didn't stick to this. All right, so we're done with the scraps, okay? And so we could put those back in their holder, their scrap bins. And now we have to work with the leaves. But first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dimensionals in the corners. And okay, now you can put, I'm just going to put one on each piece. I mean, there's a lot in the middle so that it will hold it up. And I'm going to stab those. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. That one is sticky. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll go back and get the other 1, a 2, and a 3. All right, so we're going to stick that over here for just a moment, and we're going to move the mini dimensionals off, and we're going to stamp the inside of the card. And the reason why we're doing that now is because if we mess up, we could flip it around and we can cover up the boo-boo, and we're going to fix that. So I'm going to take my bone folder and give that a nice crease. So see how that lays down nice and flat. And I tend to do both sides. And then we're going to open that up, and we're going to stamp using, let's see, we're going to do the memento. And this is going to be the inside of our card. It's greeting, and it's going to say, if friends were flowers, I'd pick you. No, I mean, how lovely is that? And I'm actually going to grab my Stampin' Pearson mat and just test this to make sure I like it. Yep. Tap, tap, tap. Oops. Okay, good. Tap, tap, tap. No squishing. We're not killing a spider. And we're going to put that in here. And just let that sit for a second and allow that to transfer. And then we're going to close that up. And we're going to grab the Versamark pad. Now the Versamark, it's kind of dirty, but that's okay. It doesn't mean anything. It means it's well loved. And we're going to take the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to take the 5 tulips. Now, seeing as how Stampin' Up! Is putting the markers on sale, I didn't want to use the markers because I didn't want to have to sit there and figure out if I used, say, Poppy Parade, if the family is gone or not. So I'm just going to use Versamark, and I'm going to do it on Misty Moonlight. And I am going to stamp my tulips, and it just leaves a watermark of those tulips. Now, if I wanted to, I could emboss that. I could put clear embossing powder. I could put white embossing powder, but I just want to leave it Versamark. And now it's a sticky ink. So oops, I am not straight. Well, I'm going to do it on purpose. I'm going to do these tulips more up. There we go. So, nope, that didn't work. So let's try that. All right, I'm going to sit down again, and then I can line this up better. So I could see the bottom of the edge of my paper. Here we go. Because, you know, whoever wins this card, I want them to like it. Not saying, was she drunk or something? She can't stamp straight. All right. Too many energy drinks for her. All right, that's a lot better. But this happens to be sticky. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to use my Stampin' Scrub. And I actually, one side, this side here has watermarks. So that means this side remains wet. And this side over here has the sun. So that means it should stay dry. And so then what I do is I take the Stampin' Mist. And because it's not a huge stamp, I'm just going to spray in just a little spot. Okay. And I'm going to squish that in there. And I'm going to let that soak in and take that off. And I'm going to let that sit there, and I'm going to go clean it once I'm done with you guys. And then that way, it won't be sticky. That residualness will come off. All right, and then we're going to take this. We're done stamping, I think, now. No, we're not. We're not done. We're done with that for now, or for a few seconds. And then we're going to take our adhesive, and we're going to put that, because I like to decorate the inside of my card and somehow bring the outside of the card to the inside. And so we're just going to put that little tiny bit of white showing. I like to do that. And then we're going to use our paper snips, and we're just going to snip that off. Just like that. Okay. And then we'll just put that. And again, we're using a lot of scraps tonight. And it's going to be a beautiful card. All right. So then now, here's our tulips. And we're going to be using Poppy Parade. That's for our tulip. I'm going to move that because we're going to need that in just a moment. Oh, you guys, I forgot to show you something. Okay, my friend Carolyn gave me this glue holder, and it has my name on it. And so I thought that'd be like perfect, you know, when I go to, you know, crop events or whatever. Well, look at what I got. I saw another demonstrator, and she had this on her table, and I'm like, I need that. I mean, who doesn't need a penguin glue holder on their table staring at them? I mean, like, so that is from the Country Hive, and they have quite the selection of things. And I also purchased this thing. So you put your finished card through it, and it'll tell you if the post office will accept it or not. Sorry, Julia, if you see this, I sent your card. I don't know. It came back. So if it goes through, it's a card that can be mailed, and you don't have to, you know, do extra postage. So I got that too, from the Country Hive. So it's they have like block holders and other things, but I do all things penguin, man, and I have to have it. So, I mean, my father-in-law's girlfriend gave me this Crazy Penguin Lady keychain, and it's on my scissors. I mean, like, fits me to a T. All right, so there goes Squirrel. So now we're using Petal Pink ink pad for the center of our tulip. I know, I'm gonna have 3 ink pads open at the same time. All right, and then we're gonna have the Lemon Lime Twist, which is going to be our green. Now I'm gonna grab the Stampin' Pearson mat again, because we're gonna stamp off, which means we're going to lighten up the color of our image. Okay, so I'm actually going to do it. Okay, I'm going to move my main card because all my pieces are exposed, but I don't want this part to hit my ink pad. Okay, so the tulips, we're going to do the tulip first. This is Poppy Parade. Just tap, 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 no squishing. We're going to, oops. We're going to stamp once. Okay, so that's first generation. And then we're going to stamp the second generation underneath our, or over our words. And then we're going to close that up. because the more ink pads you have, the more issues you could have. Like if you drop something and then it hits your finished card product. Okay, so this here is Petal Pink, and there's really not a lot of color on it, but once you go in here, I don't want it, well, I guess that is really dark or light. So we're just going to do that again, and we're just going to go full strength. So then you can see the tulip center, okay? And then we're going to close that up. And then we're going to go for our green, which is Lemon Lime Twist. Tap, tap, tap. And we're just going to hit that. And then we're going to go right underneath. And you really can't see that too much. That's the idea, because you want to be able to read the words, but still see that design a little bit on it. All right, so now we're done stamping. We can get rid of this. Now we have to finish off the front of our card. So let's bring that back in. Okay, so I like everything that turned out. So we're going to move this. And we're just going to lay this on here. We're going to try to make it straight and centered. But we're not going to push down, because we want to be, if I'm, see, I'm way over here. I want to be able to move that gently, because the dimensionals are all exposed. And okay, I'm going to use my grid mat here on my Glass Mat Studio, and I just pushed it up. Okay, I think I need to come down a little bit. There we go. All right, we're gonna go for smush. And all right, so that's the front of our card. All right, so now I'm gonna sit down, because here, this is where the penguin comes in. All right, and this is the brush that my friend Carolyn gave me. It matches it's a silicone brush, it's a kitchen brush, and it's about that long, and she gave it a haircut. And so it matches, you know, red and red. But, you know, now that I have my penguin, I should get a black one, right? Joking. I don't need two of them. All right, I had to take a drink. All right, so I'm going to sit down again with this, because hi Barb, it's nice to see you. Okay, so we're going to take the lid off, and we're going to put, let's see, the Stampin' Up! Logo is right there, so we'll stick it right by the logo. And we're going to do the green leaves. All right. This is where your take your pick tool comes in. And I'm going to be leaving these. Your take your pick tool is your best friend. A crafter's best friend. It could be chocolate too, but it's the best tool ever. Actually, these need to be upside down. Yeah, because I did this differently. I'm trying to do it faster for you guys. Gosh darn it. Yep. There. Flip. flip, flip. So this way, I'm putting all the same leaves on one side of the table, and then the other leaves, because that way you know where to stick them. And I'm putting the back sides facing up, because we're only going to do a little bit at a time. We're not going to do all of them at the same time, because that's not how I roll. This one should go, wait, no, that one's here. This one should go over here. And so should that one. Okay, this one should go over here, right? I think I got them all. Okay, this one's this way. All the pointy parts are up. Okay, so the idea is to take your brush and make a bunch of little splotches on it. And there's little dots, like Dotto. And then you put it in there like that. How I did it was I just took my glue and put little tiny glue streaks in there. And then some of it had too much, some of it didn't have enough. So I thought maybe this might be easier. And then, or maybe it might be easier to flip it over, hit that, and then transfer it with the... See, I'm learning with you guys. There we go. And then these pop out. Oops. They're cut so that they pop out. And don't stab the penguin. He just got here. I got him today. He came in the mail today. All right, let's see. So, I mean, we could take it like this. Go like that. Go like that. Oh, I like that. And then you won't have too much on there. Oops, wrong one. You'll find out in just a moment. We'll do that one. There we go. All right. So now that I moved them all facing the right way, or the wrong way, now I have to move them back. But see, I'm here to show you different ways to do things and what to do, what not to do. Definitely what not to do. All right, so you can pop those up if you want. All right, flip that around. Yeah, we'll just do things the hard way. You know, like I said, just don't pick the easy thing. All right, so that one decided to land in the glue mess. So let's, oh, I need to put some more on there. And there we go. Take your pick tool. Awesome tool. If you don't have one, you need one. And when I was at the, you know, one of our events, this is before Stampin' Up! Came out with this, several ladies, you know, had something like this. And I'm like, what's that? What's that? What is it? You know, that's really cool that it picks up the rhinestones and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, and then when Stampin' Up! Came out with one, I couldn't wait to put it on my order. All right, I'll put that little guy back in my penguin. All right, we'll mix that up. And then we'll take our leaf. point that up. Make sure. Come on. There you go. Lift up. All right. Next one. Yeah, this is certainly a lot easier than putting the glue down, making sure, you know, you have enough on there. If you have too much, it splatters out. Maybe I should try this before. There we go. That pops up really nice. All right. Grab some more glue. Stick it up. I squished it down. So I guess you need to poke it down and then lift it up once it gets stuck. All right. We'll lift those up later. All right. Go back into some wet glue. See, nothing is squishing out. All right. A little bit more glue. On my next order, I'm going to order another one of these silicone mats. So seeing as how I really like doing this technique, I can certainly have 2 silicone craft sheets because I use mine all the time. And then now that I'm doing this, now that Carolyn, you know, bought me my brush and I, you know, have glue, then I have to have things dry now. And I'm like, I'm not that patient of a person. I mean, I can be patient, but I am not that patient. So I'm thinking, doggone it, I didn't want it on there. Come off. Fine, it's on there. Oh, well. Grr. Grr, 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 grr. All right, a little bit more glue. Well, no, I think it might still be wet enough. I'll put that there. And okay, tad bit more glue. Come on. And when you get done with this, all you have to do is just let it dry and roll it up. And it is all done, ready to go. I mean, like, and you could do the brush the same way. I'm sure if you wanted to run it under hot water, it'll probably work too like that. Oh, no, do not stick to the glue, silicone glue sheet. There, craft sheet. There we go. Take that last wet glue. Okay. Let's see if we have any questions on anything. Yeah, I'm way patient. From the tiny little leaves. Well, you know, there are, like I said, Barb, I did not pick the easy card. I was inspired by the sheet or the card in the picture. And when you figure out the easy way to do it, it goes a lot faster. All right. And then you have these guys. Now, I think it might be just easier. I wanted to do this just on the red ones, and then I went and put it on that one by accident. So I'll just show you what I did with this one. Just that one and that one. And then you take that and the center, squish, and that. in there. And then the center. This is so cool. I know, I'm a dork, and that's okay. If you push down here, the little end pops up a little bit better. So if you have to squish the flower down at the bottom. All right. And not everybody is turned over nicely. So we'll just have to. There we go. There we go. Ew, there's a lot of glue on that one. Okay, back. Okay, we can put the lid back on. Nope, there's no glue down there. So the country hive, it's a headless penguin. He has no brains. There we go. Perfect for my table. All right. 1, 2, and whoops, flip it. No, get out of there. That is the briar pit. Let's see, anybody flipped over? That is that one. And that one. How come everybody's facing the wrong way? There we go. Right in there. Yeah, this is not a stamp camp idea. This is an idea for someone you like a lot, because number one, you have to like the person you're sending a card to, I hope. And if you don't like them, you don't send them this card. I mean, if they're not your favorite person, but you're still sending them a card, you're not sending them this one. Because this one says, I love you because I spent half my day, just kidding, making you this card. But, once you figure out the faster way to do things, then it just goes so much easier for you. And why do I have way too many of these leaves? Get back in there. And you're being very attachy. Knock it off. And that's why, boys and girls, we have the Take Your Pick tool. Do, 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 do. Ha! All right, so the red ones, I wanted to have the funky, the two, but I think whoever gets this card is not going to realize that and say, well, how come that red one doesn't have that one? Joy made a boo-boo. I don't like this card. That's not going to be part of the conversation. Okay, so we're done with the green parts, the green leaves, and we're not done yet. Okay, static cling. Move it. I'm in Minnesota, and in the wintertime, it gets staticky. Okay, so we have, remember, these tulips right here, they cut out the whole tulip and the center parts. So you can have mixed colored tulips. And So we're going to have the back side facing up, and then stab it with your take your pick tool and flip it around, because the fingernails don't work. All right, now we're ready for this again. Just a little tiny bit of glue, because there's only 4 things. All right, so make sure there's no glue boogers on here. And yes, that's what I call them, glue boogers. And they're stuck to my fingers now. All right, so we're just going to go tap, tap, tap. And we're just going to, when you tap, 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 don't move them, because any of the glue that doesn't stick to the tulip is going to stick to the mat, and then it's going to stick to the front of the actual tulip. All right, and so then we'll take that one and we'll put that in there. Whoops. And so these are variegated tulips. Get right in there. And then I'm pushing it down so it hits the Poppy Parade. All right. And then when I had my house, I had put tulips in the first year that I moved in, which was, you have to plant your tulips in the fall. And my tulips came up, and that year they froze. And they became the most, what's the word? Unorthodox looking tulips I had ever seen. It looked like somebody was, what's the word? Practicing different species. I don't know. And I ended up loving them because they were kind of funky. And so we're going to take the Winkostella. And so every time I see red and white tulips, I think of my funky tulips. And then I ended up tilling that garden and redoing it years and years later. And so when I tilled it, it split them up, and so they, planted them several different places, and so they came up in the beginning of the spring, and then they died. But so we sold our house to somebody who is using it as an investment property, and they are renting it. And I had 12 gardens, and the neighbor next door, kind of like, old enough to be my parents, you know what I mean? Or, grandparents actually. And I watched, some of their grandkids grow up. And so she called me in the spring and she said, "Joy, what's the phone number to the person you sold the house to?" And she goes, "The weeds are up to the roof of the garage," because her kitchen window looked out at my side of the garage. And I always planted pretty things there so that, the side of the garage is not necessarily the prettiest thing you see. And so I thought, if I plant pretty flowers there, it won't look so bad for her. Drive by, and it looks like crap. And I'm like, one of my favorite things there in those gardens were my black bearded iris. And they were considered black bearded iris, but they were like a super dark, dark, dark purple. And they were just absolutely stunning. Yeah. So I, go over there, and during the winter season, I bring them cookies. And ever since we moved, and, they're getting up there in her age, so I don't, want to Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up what, Stacy? Stampin' Up what? Black and red are my favorite colors. And so just the Poppy Parade are winked. And so now we're going to have to, I just want to say, when you're doing something like this, you want to put it away so that it dries, so that you're not accidentally setting something into that glue. So Cece, what is your question about Stampin' Up? All the products I'm using tonight are Stampin' Up. The mat, the silicone craft sheet, yes, that is in the annual catalog. And the brush, that's not Stampin' Up. The brush you could probably get at a dollar store. And it is probably about that long. And my friend Carolyn, she gave it a haircut. And so all you do is, like, it's still a little wet, but you just go like this until all the glue boogers come off. And like I said, you probably could every once in a while take a brush to it and do it, clean it underneath hot water if you wanted to. But yeah, it's a non-Stampin' Up thing, but the silicone craft sheet is. And that is, let's see. We're just going to move that for a second. And let's see here. Tools. I think it's in tools. Stampin' Pearson mat, grid paper, paper trimmer, bone folder, heat tool, take your pick tool and all its accessories, masking paper. That's what I was thinking of earlier, masking paper. Okay, silicone craft mat. Let's see. Let's just kind of flip through and see. Nope. If you, in the Stampin' Up website, when you're in the store, there is a place that you can type something in. If you type in the word silicone, anything with the word silicone in it will pop up. And then that way you can just click on that button and hit it and put it in your cart. And they move things around. It's kind of hard to remember what page things are on. Sorry, I'm going so fast. I'm surprised it's not. Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine, punches, dies, stamp sets. Returning stamp sets. Okay, how is it not on here? Masking paper, Stampin' Pearson mat, take your pick tool, heat tool, take your pick. Okay, is it in the index? Stays on cleaner. Take your pick. Tool. Blocks. Stays on cleaner. Simply Chamois. I love my Simply Chamois. Brayer. Sponge daubers. Okay. Type it in. It has like, it's an oblong square, and I use that all the time. When I put in there, say like Calypso Coral, anything with Calypso Coral in it pops right up. And then you can just click by and then see, where it's at. So I don't know. It should be, it's in the online store. I mean, we sell it. So, I mean, I don't know why it's not. Oh, that's not the one I'm doing. This is the one that we're working on right now. All right, so then we're going to take the Thinking of You. This is the greeting, and that's our bad greeting. And we're going to put 3 more dimensionals on it. Mini dimensionals. We'll go 1, 2. Hey, Barb, are you going to be doing the thing that Patty Bennett and Carol, they're like 5 other demonstrators putting something on tomorrow? Are you doing that? And let's see. Just want to make sure. All right. And that's going to go, I wanted to put it right here. I wanted to put it not over the Misty Moonlight, but I wanted to put it in between the pierced edge, not all the way over. There we go, like right smack dab. And I don't want to cover up a tulip. The greens, I don't care. I mean, I do care, but like I said, tulips are I used to be a floral designer and a gardener. I'm still a gardener. I have 5 flower pots on my balcony. I mean, obviously they're dead right now, but because it's winter. Okay, so, I mean, how pretty is that? Do you think we're done? No. We're going to add iridescent pearls. Now, this is in the annual catalog. Okay. I am not going to on stage. I would love to, but the idea of spending that much money when Mike has been in the hospital way too much in the last few years, I can't afford it. Or I should say I shouldn't afford it. All right, so these are in the annual catalog, and it's on page 125. And I like the fact, now, it's a little crooked, just a tad bit. So I'm using a basic white, thick basic white base. And usually it's color for me. So I'm kind of going out of my normal. And so I wanted to use the, thank you. I could have gone dancing tonight, but I didn't want to spend the $30 for the ticket. I'm trying to be good. Okay, so I'm going to put the larger one down at the bottom. And then I'm going to take another one and put it next to the greeting. Maybe. When you take your putty is too sticky. It's still well loved, but I mean, it doesn't want to let go. And then we're going to put that one right in the dip of that. So we're creating a triangle with our embellishments. And there we go. We are now done with this card. See what I said? See what I meant when I did not pick the easiest thing to do with the set, but I just kind of wanted to show where you could go with it. So it is in the spring mini catalog, and it's on page 50. And so this here was my inspiration. And you could see that they basically did. Thank you guys. Oh, I like that. Now, Stacy, just make sure you weren't here in the beginning. So right now, if you spend $50, you're going to get a coupon code. Now, that's the subtotal. So if you use rewards or any discounts, that subtotal needs to be 50, okay? And you will get a $5 off coupon emailed to you, and you can collect as many of those coupons as you want. So for every $50. So if you spend $50, you get one coupon, obviously. If you spend $150, you get 3 coupons. Now those coupons will be sent to you. Depends on your order. I mean, if you ordered 3 separate times, you will get 3 separate orders as long as they're $50 or more. But if you spent $150, you will get 3 coupons emailed to you in one email. Okay? Save those emails, because then February 3rd through the end of February, you can apply those coupons on any order. Now you can save them. That was a weird sound. Oh, it was Benji, my cat. The heat came on, and then Benji meowed at the same time, and it just sounded so weird. But anyways, also, the product of the month is available, and that is a stamp set. It's a word stamp set, and if your subtotal is $75, you can purchase that stamp set for only $5. And that is only available in January. Once it sells out, you cannot get that stamp set anymore. So the product of the month is going to be obviously every month, and it's going to be something different. So in December, it was Designer Series paper. This month, which is January, it's a word stamp set, and everybody needs sentiments. All right, so you can do 75, get the product of the month for $5, and then get a $5 off coupon sent to you to use it. So, I mean, it's like you get to double dip. Plus, you get to earn your rewards. So, I mean, and if you're a demonstrator, you get the 20% or the 25% off. So, I mean, that's a great way to do it. So, back to the card. I just wanted to make sure I haven't sent out my email yet, because I was going to do that tonight. Send out all the promotions that are going on. So I don't want you to miss out by spending, say, $20. Okay, so as you can see, this card was my inspiration. I decided that I wanted to use the green cardstock as my leaves. Now they took, where is it? They took this stamp and stamped it on their leaves. And then they did the same thing I did. They had Petunia Pop and maybe Berry Burst. And so I did Real White. Real White? I did Poppy Parade and Basic White. And so I have a variegated tulip. And I decided that I wasn't covering up any of my tulips, but this is a very nice size greeting label. So, and then also I showed in the beginning, you know, how I am using the Paper Mate Ink Joy gel pens to label my dies so that when I am done, or when I'm using something, I know where it goes back into. And it takes a little while for it to come back. And it's a gel pen. And I got it at Walmart. And I might still have some of the stuff still attached. So the other ones, just, there we go. It flows really nice. And then you just let it sit there and it dries. And so then now I will know where my label goes. All right, guys. Yeah, very good specials. So Stacy, if you go shopping, make sure if you have any questions on anything, send me an email. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I should be back on Sunday after 5 o'clock. Sorry I couldn't make it yesterday, which was Thursday. That's my normal night, but my tummy was just not having it. So guys, have a great weekend. See you on Sunday. Happy stamping!